Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to our training for the night. And I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late, uh, coming from our Ultimate Insider call. If you came, you arrived, you didn't see me, and you're just seeing me now. That's why I was running a little bit late. So again, I'm sorry, and we will get right into it. And what I will do is I'm going to kind of talk through some things. Excuse me. And if we have time at the end, I'll take a few questions if I do have time. Okay. And I'm going to open up the chat just in case. And I will open up the Q&A. All right. I'll open that up also. And I don't know if maybe the Q&A is not really open. So, okay, no worries. Okay. Just as an aside, I do have a bonus that I put together for Jonathan's PLR. I'm not even sure when it expires. Basically, what I did was I think that this was about remote business models. So what I did was I took a series of webinars that I did back in 2010 called One Business Model to Rule Them All. And all the principles in there are fairly evergreen. I brought them up to date by using the AI. And so what I did was I took those four webinars and I did some stuff with them in Notebook LM and tweaked some stuff. And actually, excuse me, sorry about that. Really, the more I think that the more valuable thing is the transcript that you get as a bonus. So the transcript is now you can use the audio. But I think that the transcript that you're getting with unrestricted rights as our bonus is the most valuable thing with this. So just so you know, so you get that bonus at the plrshow.com/Jonathan T. And what I'm going to talk about tonight is something that I have been talking about in the in our newsletters, and that is a business model. And I do want to talk a little bit about some of the some of the cases where you get how many of you all have seen these 300 viral videos and people are doing them on various subjects, and I really have not uh suggested that you get those, right? And I tend not to even put bonuses in them. I might tell you about them, but I have not really understood exactly what I would do with them. And in kind of thinking about some of the things that I want to start talking about in 2025, which is building an online community, it occurred to me that those videos and packages like that, and even the packages of PLR videos that you already have from us, they are very valuable if you can create a community. And as I said in the email tonight, building a community out of your audience is not easy to do, whether you do it free or paid. And I suggested if you're going to do it, that you do it paid because of the amount of work that's going to take to keep it operating. The content is more valuable if you can center it and get people talking not only to you about it, but also with each other. And so if you're trying to build a membership that is going to be stickier, then you want to have a community element. And certainly, most of the people who are on this call, because I know that you buy PLR and business related, and you've been buying it from us, if you're following our work, you're probably a business coach of some kind. So you're teaching people and training people in other niches. You might not be teaching and training people in the make money online niche. You might be teaching and training people who are life coaches. You might be teaching and training people in weight loss. And so I recognize that um, not only do you have to do certain elements, but you've got to be teaching people something. And I suggest you start teaching people to build community, uh, because I don't know whether building a learning center is going to be enough to be sticky. I think that if your customer understands the right way to build content, it's a way that can still be sticky, but I think that ultimately, whatever level you do it at, you get people talking to each other or either get them interacting with you in some kind of community element. They're not always going to be the same. I want to talk about that specifically when you combine that idea with some of the bigger, let's say, video packages that you've seen, because I would not use those as viral content. I know that's how they're sold. I know that's what is said about them. I would not use them as viral content. I wouldn't use any of your PLR to put on social media sites, right? Especially the video content. And I think that that is the lowest and in worst use. You can use it. If you got the rights to use it, it certainly works. I think that you are not getting the value and the extension of the work that goes into putting together the video. So I do want to talk about that tonight. Um, and one of the things I've been talking about in our newsletter is a community model versus just a content model. And I think that going into 2025 and into the future, that you should be telling your customers as a business coach that yes, a course is good. Yes, that's content, and getting figuring out how to get people to consume content is a skill. That's still valid. That's still something that you need to show them how to do, and you need to encourage them to do as you teach them and you get them. But there is something also in a community model. And now that people are kind of over Facebook, how many of you all, if I were to ask you, right, you're sort of over Facebook groups, but you still like talking to people online now, and I think that that's quite a few people that they're not necessarily over talking to each other and interacting with each other. They're just kind of over the group element. And so building communities going into the future, I think is a way, right? I think it is a way. And I think that that is what you should be teaching and telling your customer as the end game. So yes, they got to build their list. Yes, you want to get them, you've got to teach them how to get their customers to buy products. Yes, you've got to get them to go the next step and teach them how to get their customers to buy from them on a recurring basis. But there is a fourth step to that, which is to build a community. I think that's the end game. And I think that when you start talking about what Kevin Kelly talks about in 1000 True Fans, I mean, he wrote that way back then. I think that the element of that is community, online community. And so it's community versus plus content. So it's not just content. It's not just getting people to consume content. Again, it is a skill if you can get people to consume it. If you can get people to use it, that's a skill. It's one that you need to master, and you've got to teach your customers to master. If you are a business coach, you've got to encourage your students to get people to use their courses, right? Get them engaged with the course and to get them to go beyond just putting it out there for sale, but to get their customers to interact with the course and to actually get them into it. So yes, the content model is still valid, but community is valid also, where people can either talk to you or they can talk to each other. So it's community versus content for the future into 2025 and beyond 2025. And notice I'm not necessarily going to focus necessarily directly on AI. Um, I know that, right now the focus in our market and niche is how easily you can take AI to do cool stuff. And I think that's cool. But what you're seeing, I don't know if you're seeing it, I know I'm seeing it, is there's a lot of substandard content being created. And so this is why I'm saying that not only do you and I have to do it, but you got to teach your customers to do this, that the only way to really know if content is valid is to have a trusted authority. And so as a coach, you got to teach your customers to be the authority. So no, I'm not saying that everybody's got to be, large and in charge and, doing video, but at some point, the way to build sustainable business online is you got to be willing to be the center of things, right? And to be the trust factor that your customers come to rely on, that when your word you say something, right? They can trust it in that specific market or niche. And that's what we have to teach our customers to do. That's what you got to teach your customers to do, is to be willing to be the trust factor in their market and in their niche. So it's community versus plus content. And so when I talk about online community, there are three elements, right? Hosting. And it's going to sound like Facebook, but I think it's more than Facebook. And again, I don't like Facebook. So forgive me. I still don't like it. I don't like being there. I don't like, I don't like hanging out there. I like the people that are there. I have friends that are there. I have connections that are there. I don't like being there. And I don't like doing business there. And the only reason I post there is because I have to. Right? If I didn't have to, tell people about my launch there, I would not go there at all. And I'm really working on not having to go there at all. Right? There's one membership left that, I have to go there to experience it, and I haven't been able to experience it because I don't like being there. So more than anybody else, I think that if you can move people off that platform into a platform you control and have conversations about things that you want to have conversations about long term, that's better than just being on social media. And again, I know social media is more convenient. People got on their phone, it's their habit. I know that, but it is worth the effort for you to move people into a community. And it's worth it for your customers to teach them the same thing. So there's posting. So in other words, something you want to teach, tell something about somebody. You post something in a community. There's presence. So a community has to be about something, and then it takes a person. So I said this years ago, and it's still true. I say it today. Faceless channels. I'm all for it, right? I'm here for it. I don't know how sustainable that's going to be. And all it takes is an algorithm change to wipe out faceless. Again, all it's got to do, and somebody can do something dumb. It reaches the halls of Congress or something like that, and then Facebook and then YouTube says, okay, we can't do this anymore, and they just wipe out a wide swath of things, right? So again, being anonymous is still possible. It's still possible to be anonymous and make money. It's possible to be anonymous, to have a pen name, and to be in a niche and make money. So that's the nature of our space. You don't have to be the person, but to be sustainable though, and for the vast majority of your customers you're trying to coach and teach, they need to be willing to be a presence in something. They need to be an expert in something. They're going to be trusted in an area. They need to be the presence. And so a community requires the presence. And again, I'm not talking necessarily about school, right? I know a lot of people are involved in school. I don't have anything against school. I'm just saying that if you're only experienced with online community at school, there's more to it than that. So it's not just about school. So online community, so what I'm talking about are the fundamentals of community. So you can do what I'm talking about any place. You don't have to do it in school. You can do it on social media, even though I don't recommend it. You can do it in any platform. The platform doesn't matter, right? What matters is that there's a posting that you generate. What matters is that there's presence, that you are the presence. And then what also matters is that you get participation. Your community could run so that the participation is between you and the people, but not necessarily so much between the people and the people, right? And again, I'm just going to say this to you. In general, internet marketing communities ebb and flow and eventually die. And mainly because to get people to talk to each other is difficult in our market or niche, mainly because not everybody wants to share what they're doing while it's in process, right? We don't really necessarily like to talk about things until we're ready to launch, and that's the nature of our business. And so a lot of people will kind of be reserved in the community, and they won't post until they really need help with a specific aspect, and even then they're not going to share everything. And then sometimes then people can go in and help them. So to run a community online in our niche, hard to do. Case in point, I've seen even ClickFunnels, the great Russell Brunson, right? And I don't say that tongue in cheek. Russell Brunson is great, right? Um, I've not seen him successfully have a vibrant community. A community is difficult if you sell a service, because if you sell a service, if you've always wondered about this, if you always wondered about why service based communities are difficult, they're not impossible, they're difficult, is because they eventually devolve into support. And you want to keep your support separate from discussion. Your discussions in your online community should be about your ideas, not support. You want support to happen in support. You want your discussions to happen about your ideas. And so combining a service with our niche, very difficult to do community, but anything outside of that, whatever your customers are involved in. So if your customer they want to know how to do online marketing in whatever the niche is, I always use RV users, and they're trying to learn how to do that. That's a great way to do community. That's a great community to start. Um, and you'll see those communities rise. You'll see those communities go years and years and years outside of our niche, right? Just so there's one business model that I'll kind of talk to you about. I'm not gonna keep you all long, believe it or not. But I do want to kind of go through this. It's a thought that I had about how to do this business model, right? One business model is you run a community, right? And so we've got a platform, the platform that we give to Ultimate Insiders. I'm just going to plug that here. It's a bonus to getting all of our content that you can get at ultimateinsiders.com, but you can run a community in our platform. And basically, this is where you're going to have the discussions where you're posting, you are present, and you have participation. That's all a community is. And you can have different levels. And one of the things that you can do inside of a platform like the Go High Level sub account that we give people is that you can run multiple communities and multiple niches. I don't recommend it, but I know internet marketers and I know people want to do it anyway. Uh, so if you want to have one community and it's the keto community, and you want to have another community and it's the basket weaving community, and you want to have another community and it's the green smoothie community, you could do that. And so, and so basically what you're doing, let's say with a large package, and let's say that you've got, I know Vikram and those guys, they did a keto dieting, right? A keto recipe um, package. Well, that's a very easy thing to run through a community instead of just putting it in viral, putting it on Instagram, right? Putting it on Instagram is the lowest possible use of that. Putting it inside of a community and seeing if you can get conversation to happen is vibrant, is always going to be better long term, and probably more sticky and better for you long term, right? So again, what you're trying to do with a community and these big video packages, you're just trying to post and start conversation that makes for a stickier, um, a stickier membership and learning center. So if you already have a learning center where you're bringing people in and they're watching your content, you want an easy way to add on a community component. And the way that you do that, and the way that you teach your customers to do that, is that you control the nature of the conversation. So yes, you may not want to set your community settings so that your customers can start their own thread. because again, depending on what you're offering, you got to be careful not to allow it to devolve into support, right? And again, I would encourage you to teach your customers the same thing, that when a community starts, it's important for them to control the community. And one of the ways you control the community is to post something specific for people to comment on. Now, again, it is going to limit the number of comments that you get, but it's around the content that you're using that is real. Now, you don't want to buy bad content, right? And I think obviously our content is, I think our content is good for that, right? But any of these big video packages would be good for you to do that with, right? And just make that to be the discussion for the day. And all you're really trying to do is give people an opportunity to have discussion around an issue. So one business model to take a big package of videos and your learning center content is to build a community and to post one video every day. So I know some of these video packages have got 300, right? I don't know how you upload 300 videos, but you only upload one at a time because you're doing it in a community, you will actually use it, right? Um, Most people who get them, and it's one of the reasons why we really have not promoted them, because I really haven't really seen what you might really do with them, and why you needed 300. But if you're going to use them as part of a community posting process, it's doable. It makes sense to me that you would use it that way. And it only makes sense to me that way, that you would use it in a way so that your community is driving the post. Now the second one, right? The second business model is a little more lucrative. It may not be as easy to sell, but you don't have to sell a lot of these. Um, you basically do you basically create the community for somebody. And you do that by setting them up, right? You do the setup. You upload all the videos, right? You put them I would put them in a course, maybe in something with a course platform, and you connect that course platform you connect the course to the community when they buy it. And so basically, they're getting a setup for you. They're getting a done for you paid setup community. And basically, you teach them how to operate their community. And you tell them every day to post a new video and then to ask a prompting question. Now, one thing you could do to add to this, I didn't do it as part of a bonus, but you could certainly do this with ChatGPT, is you could give them a set of prompts, and you could give them a set of prompts to get the um, the engagement, right? So basically, one of the things that you would sell to your customers is you would sell them a set of prompts that they could use on a daily basis to add to that video, right? So basically, I would not charge less than 297 or 397 if you're going to upload all the videos and set up the community for them and show them how to use it, and then give it to them, right? So you could probably do this on something like System.io, where you go in as their delegate and you set it all up, and then once they get it set up, then you take yourself out, and it becomes their site. And the benefit of doing that, as I've been saying, if you read my newsletters over the last year, and I've been saying this over and over and over again, you should be getting tired of it, that if you put them in it and they use your affiliate link, then you get the recurring commission, right? That's about as simple as you can get with affiliate marketing. Okay, third business model. I think I said two, but there's actually three. You could upload all these videos and have it drip on WordPress. I'm not going to get into logistics of that. It's a little old school. You probably know that already, but um, that's one thing you could do, right? You could set this up so it becomes a drip website. Now, anything you're selling on Flippa, sometimes people will buy it just because it looks cool and it has potential. But in most cases, the thing about Flippa is they're going to want to see traffic. right? So you already got traffic to it. You can get some of that going, but you could set up a done for you site, and basically you're getting paid for your shoe leather. Get a nice domain. Let's say you get the stress management videos. You call it, you know, daily stress management tips, right? .com. And basically, you're gonna give the person a site that drips these videos on a daily basis. Okay, I want to talk about how you would use this. So how could you combine this, right? You do need system.io, I think, to do this. You could do it like if you're going to build a community yourself and you're an ultimate insider, you can use our package to build a community, right? You can use any package and upload the videos. Because the videos are hosted free inside of the platform, then our platform is ideal, right? Again, you get that as a bonus when you sign up as an ultimate insider. Then you basically will just upload the videos to drip every day, right? So, but if you want to do this for other people, you can use system.io, right? And so you can get your own account, right? You can test it out at the plrshow.com/system.io. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to sell a course in system. And when they buy the course, you can do this when you set up the checkout. And I think we talk about this in one of our PLR courses where we describe this process, but um, you sell community access simultaneously. So you put that in the checkout so that when they buy the course, they also get the community right along with it. You do that at the checkout. You can do that. I think I talked about that in volume 3 or maybe volume 2, right? I talked about that where you're basically doing the checkout and they're getting community access when they buy the course at the same time. And you can also set up an automation, right? You can also make it so that when they get access to a course, they also get access to um, the community, and you can do that in the workflows and automation and system, right? So those are the logistics of how you do that. It's not very hard to do, but we did cover that in a previous course, and that is just and that's something that I did not finish. Get the platform at the plrshow.com/system.io. Um, Now there's some packages you can use to do this, right? And you could do the setup for people. So I'm not saying that you need to set up a keto community for yourself, right? In the past, I've said it's one way to keep people tied to your membership. But one way to do this is to do a DFY community where the community is going to be about keto. And obviously, if you got some other PLR, you could put that in there also, right? A lot of people have already got some other stuff. And you build them basically a membership inside of system.io. And then you sell it to them and give it to them. Build the entire thing for them, right? Very easy to do. You set up the course, set up the community, and then obviously you want to give them some instruction. Um, and let's say, here's what I'll say. I'll say that if you get any one of these through our link, let's say you get Vikram's thing, um, PLR show that if you get any one of these, I don't have a bonus set up there, but what I'll do is I'll give you our paid community playbook, right? And you can go through that. You get some ideas on how to run a community. So if you get any one of these that I mentioned tonight, send me your receipt where you got it through our link. Now, if you get it from somebody else, right? I can't give you my course, but I will give it to you if you get it from here. Um, so Vikram has keto. I don't even have any bonuses to give you on keto, right? But if you get that, I'll give you our core, or if you get stress management, right? And so it's the same package, 300 viral videos. Again, don't use them like that. That's the lowest possible use. The way you get some mileage out of this is you put them in a community and you try to get some engagement, right? Or the community that you set up. Now, we do want to say this parenthetically. Don't do this in the free community. That's not what I'm saying to you. So if you can't sell access to a community, don't do this for free. The wrong move. So yes, you got wonderful video, and that's my problem with using these as viral content anyway. It's a lot of stuff, and it's not so much that the stuff is you get a lot of stuff, but it takes a lot of time to use a lot of stuff. And so if you're going to put in all that time to upload videos someplace, right? So again, it's not the videos are expensive. The time is expensive. And so if you're gonna put in, even if you pay somebody, let's say you go get somebody on Fiverr, you still have to pay them to deal with 300 videos. And why do all that and not get paid? Again, I'm all for viral and social media. I'm all for that, right? I'm saying to you that to get the most mileage out, at minimum, do both. Right? You want to make them viral, you want to put them on social media because that it goes viral. That's what you want. Fine. I don't have any problem with that. Do that. What I'm saying to you is that you're going to get the most mileage out of it. Put it, build a community, right? And see if you can get some engagement. But definitely, as a coach, tell your customers to do this. And if your customer is does stress management, set it up for them. Sell them the site. Sell them the share code. Now in system.io, there's no community share code. But I think I covered community. I guess like I said in volume 2, you give them access to one or two of those videos or show them how to do it if they buy it from you, right on system. Um, and then there's Daniel Malandre. I'm not sure. Is it? I think he's Italian or something like that. But he does these. He also does these 300 packages. And like I said, um, if you if you if you get into these and you get them through my link, then send me the receipt. I'll try to check and see. I don't really have a way of verifying this, but I'll be able to see the sale, and then I'll send you our paid community playbook course. If you get any upsell, what I'll do is I'll give you the upsell to that course. So let's say that you get Vikram's thing, and and then I'll give you the front end course, and then if you get his upgrade, right, and you send me the receipt, I'll give you access to the upgrade to my paid community playbook. Okay, so again, these are all the same thing, right? They're all the same thing. Hopefully you understand the concept. The concept is the time you have to spend or the money you have to pay to get somebody to spend their time to use 300 videos is is you need to get paid for that, right? So again, one of the kind of the things that doesn't always get said when you get a lot of stuff is the time it takes, right? Time. So we do it's the time you take to process it, time you take to organize it. I've never used one of these. I don't know how they're labeled. I don't know how they're numbered and what you have to do to get them to be that place. I know my ex-partner John, he's very meticulous about naming things. So if John ever does one of these things, it tends to be and again, I have nothing against some of the people that are selling them. I just know that if Johnny tends to do it, he's going to be meticulous about that stuff. Um, so so these packages are better used as a part of your community, and you want to stick the community onto your learning center to make it sticky for the subscription payment you're asking. Right? That's the business model. And again, into 2025, I think that even with all the talk about AI, right? Even with all the discussion about AI, and AI is valid, information is going to proliferate, most of it low quality, because most people aren't going to take the time to really check the AI and see if it's producing anything worth their time. right? Just because you can produce something with AI, I guarantee you, most people are not even thinking about it. They're trying to figure out how to do it fast as they can. And you've probably seen that. Well, I've seen it, and the quality of information is going to decrease, and there's nothing you and I can do about that. And we don't need to be the information police and the AI police. So we're not saying, oh no, that AI, that's low quality information. You don't want to be that person. But the only recourse that you and I have as an information marketer is to be the trusted source. Is to be in a position where even in a world of trusted information, where everybody's an expert about everything and everybody knows everything, you are the person in your marketer niche that can be trusted because you know the right questions. And again, I will get into this in another session because it's really, in order to take a market position, you don't have to know everything. You got to know the right questions to ask. And sometimes it's about asking a question about things to differentiate yourself rather than always saying, I'm the expert, right? Experts are a dime a dozen right now. But you've got to be pretty astute to know the questions to ask. And we will get into that in 2025. We will get into that. I will talk about that. There's a whole philosophy behind that. And when we talk about building a community, you really want to build a community around your ideas and the questions you ask, right? So anyway, so all these packages are 300 plus videos. That's how you use them. And that's how you use them in your community. Okay, so tomorrow, um, Alice, that's wrong, really, right? I'm going to change that right now. That's wrong because her name is Alice Seba. Uh, um, she's going to be doing something. I'm going to put a bonus to it. And that's tomorrow. So if you go there now, it's not going to show up depending on when you see this. If you're watching this on Saturday, my bonus is not going to be there till Sunday. My bridge pay is not going to be there on Sunday. So we're going to put the bonus together for Alice for tomorrow. And then as well, you and Callie also have something going on, and we will have something for that. Next PLR course for us will be Wednesday and then Saturday. So Wednesday, we are doing Chat GPT search and Chat GPT voice and Chat GPT canvas, all the new stuff. So all the new stuff we're going to do. And going to do that on Wednesday. Looking forward to that. So please be ready, right? Be ready to get the get the essentials, and then be ready also to get the unrestricted rights version, which is the upgrade. So clear the deck for Wednesday. Yeah, that's going to be available to you on Wednesday. Okay. And let me see. Um, let's see. Oh, let's see. Santu's question: what time on Wednesday? 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this replay will be on YouTube, right? Because this is for the public. And then the Ultimate Insider replay will be inside the member area, right? And I will send that out. I will send a link out to all Ultimate Insiders for that tonight. So I did that call at 6 o'clock. The call we're doing right now is it's a community-wide call. So if you're part of our PLR show community, then you were invited. So good to see a good turnout here tonight. Good to see you folks here. And looks like Cynthia, you have a question. Cynthia, you want to type your question in there? Can you see? I see your hand. You want to type your question into the chat there? I don't know if there's a Q&A area here. Let me see. Oh no, the Q&A area is there. Hello, Dana. So you can type a question into. Oh, it was answered. Okay, good. Um, okay, so James, I will upload this replay to our YouTube channel, and our YouTube channel is at uh, youtube.com/gain mind share. Okay, so Amina is asking, how do you use the masterclass? Okay, so the masterclass has unrestricted rights. So if you want to sell to people so they can sell it, that's the way you would use unrestricted rights. Now, there's a lot of stuff you can do with unrestricted rights. One thing you could do, Amina, is you could put it inside of, let's say, you could put it, let's say if you uploaded all those videos to a system.io, then you could sell the share code, right? And you could give them access to the share code, right? Okay, Santu's question, do you mean 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. All right. Amina, did that answer your question? Not exactly. Not exactly. Okay, so uh okay, so the essentials course you sell as you would any other course. And the um the uh uh unrestricted rights course, you want to know how to use them generally. I get you. Um tell me tell me who your market is. Tell me who you're selling to. You know, what is your customer, what is your customer trying to do? That will help me better to be able to answer your question. And it's 7:47. I'm sorry, everybody. We're running short of time, but I didn't mean to keep you over tonight, but couldn't be helped tonight. So okay, so you want to educate business owners on how to do online course creation. Do you want them to learn about PLR? Next is another question. So, or do you want to keep that something separate from what you teach them? Okay, good. Okay, that's important. All right, very important. So if you want to keep PLR separate um, as a concept and you don't necessarily want to teach them about PLR, then you sell it as a course and you sell the upgrade as a hands-on workshop course. So I would um, however you do it. So essentials are always going to be the fundamentals. If they're willing to pay for an upgrade, upgrade them. So so the upgrade is literally either a hands-on version where they get to apply what they learned, or it has advanced concepts. But you want to sell it as that so that it becomes a way to upgrade. So that is how I would do it if you want to keep PLR as a concept separate. Does that make sense, Amina? Excellent. Do Ultimate Insiders have a paid community playbook? You might. I don't think that it was one that there was an Ultimate Insider course. It is one that can be purchased at a discount. So I'd have to go back to see if it's one, yeah, if it's one that I did. It's been a little while since I did it, but the concepts in it are evergreen because online community is evergreen. But um, yeah, so yeah. All right. Any other questions? Will the Bears beat New England? Um, I'm not confident, Bob. I'm not confident. And you know, for a little while, I was okay with our quarterback, right? Fingernail polish aside, I was okay to overlook that, right, for a couple of games. But I think right now, um, he's not being effectively coached, and I think he's clearly a franchise talent. And so I think we need we definitely need some new coaching. And the Bears are notoriously cheap, but I think we got to get somebody in there because we're paying this kid a lot of money, and there's no reason to trade him. They already did that with the other kid, Justin Fields. We need to get a coach in here who can who can work with this guy. And he's clearly talented, um, but he's not being coached. He's not being coached. Hello, James. That's my take. What do you think, Bob? What do you think? You think they're going to beat New England? Oh, but New England's not that good. So if they beat New England, I mean, I don't know if we're doing anything. We ought to beat New England. They're bad too. They're bad. They're just as bad as we are. So uh, okay, James says the Bears will win. Uh, uh, Santu asked me if I know Vikram well from fire launchers. I wouldn't say I know him well. I say I've known him for a long time. As much as you can know an internet marketer. Now, um, enough to influence? Nah. I mean, I will say this publicly. Um, a lot of my old partners don't are not they're not converting our offers, and I understand that. So they're not enthusiastic about promoting us, and so I don't talk to them as much, and so I've really kind of taken a different approach to the PLR business. I've really decided to really kind of be more involved with the community, which is the people on our subscriber list, as well as our ultimate insiders, and to be a little more personal, and to see and to rely less on them promoting, and they're not promoting enthusiastically, and it's not their fault. It's mainly because what I do does I don't outsource my content, so I don't have something that's always going to be the hot, 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 hot topic. Now, Wednesday we're doing Chat GPT, we're doing Canvas, and that's something that, quite honestly, uniquely I can do fairly quickly because I've been studying it. But they can't necessarily make the kind of money they can make with other affiliates. So I don't talk to them as much as I don't talk to them as I used to, right? Um, so I wouldn't say I can influence them. I talk to them. Is Canvas different than Canva? Yes. So ChatGPT Canvas is it's just like really cool. It just is. Uh, it's a writing tool, right? It's a writing tool, and I'm not these sites are wonky sometimes, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it to you, because sometimes these things they don't act right all the time. So I'll see, and if my computer's not going to be hesitant, sometimes computer's going to be hesitant, and it might act like it's. Let me see if I can kind of pull up Chat GPT and verifying that you're human. Yeah, see, I think it's my memory. Okay, so ChatGPT Canvas is this language, right? So, and then in ChatGPT Canvas, you say, uh, hello, whatever, ChatGPT. Please write 500 words on how to be on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Trouble Bears in 2024. All right, so Canvas, you notice it opens up that panel on the left side, right? And so what Canvas does is it gives you some writing tools, right? So you got these writing tools. You can suggest edits, adjust the length, reading level, final polish, and I will cover all that in the course, right? So I'll be covering, but that's basically what ChatGPT Canvas is. Um, James, I have Go High Level and I want to study System.io. Do I need advanced? Uh, um, okay, I guess my question would be, why do you want to do both? Do you want to, do you have, are you paying for both? And when you say you have GHL, do you have a sub account or do you have an agency account? So that would influence my answer. So are you a GHL agency? Because you have an agency account. So if you have an agency account, I guess my question would be, what do you want to do with system? Like what do you want to accomplish with system that you can't accomplish with your agency account unless you have these two different purposes, you don't mind paying the extra one for system. Are you trying to decide between the two? Yeah, you do get a lot more with GHL, but it really depends on what you want to do and what the purpose is. Well, okay, if you want to teach new students and you want to put them in the business, do you want them to put them in an online business? Okay, well then that makes sense. Then okay, then okay, you probably do need both. You can teach people in your GHL agency, but when it comes time to get people to start, well, okay. Okay, there are advantages to using just the platform because as long as you own the platform, they got to pay you, right? And they will get more features with a sub account you give them with Go High Level. Now, if you want to be detached and have less responsibility, you can put them in system. But and you get the affiliate commission, which is passive. But if you have it in Go High Level, they have to pay you to get access to it. So, but in terms of features, there are more features in Go High Level in a sub account. Now you have to train your people. Either that, or you got to buy training. Now, obviously, now we do a GHL sub account training. We have some sub account PLR that I can give you that I'll give you the link to, and we're going to be updating that course too. So, as long as you're willing to train people, and I gather you want to train people on how to run an online business and not be a small business. I gather that's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to help them to establish a local business, brick and mortar necessarily. Right. Yeah. So most of the training that you see online and the white label stuff that's available is for people who are trying to help local businesses. There isn't a lot of training that you can plug in to teach people how to run their online business. Now, if you're willing, are you a trainer person or yeah? And what Dr. Reed is saying here is that there's some community elements that they've just released that makes it really cool, right? So that's a great point from Dr. Reed, which is that you will be able to give them access to the community portion, and all through 2025, I will be teaching about community. That's like my that's like my mission in 2025 is about how to turn all these things into community. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I think that our PLR is um, GHLSA. That's our Go High level, and our community training. Now, let's see, is the PLRshow.com. I don't play community playbook. If that's not it, um, if those URLs, just write me in support. I'll have to find it. Uh, and I just actually promised that I would give people paid community playbook if they get any of these any of these 300 video packages to. So if you were going to get any of those, then you could get those and then write me with your receipt. As long as you get them through our link, I will give you access to paid community playbook. You get any of the upsell, I'll give you access to um, the upsell to paid community playbook. Could you use the spiritual quotes to send to pay? Yeah, to subscribers on Substack. Yeah, you could do that. Um, yeah, right. I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about, where people are kind of gathered around something that you're putting together, and it's a bit of a community there. If now the only way that works, obviously, and I think I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but um, it you have to be super consistent, right? And there's something called pod fading where it's hard to be consistent. So, uh, you know, if you know you're gonna be like every day, like it's a job, and I think it can work, but that would be my own caveat. What would be a price point for something so simple? Well, I think you should do more than I think it should be more than just that. Uh, you know, now with if you're talking about a Substack and you're talking about getting a subscription, then then basically the information that people are getting uh has to be here's all information marketing in a nutshell, right? Here's everything. Doesn't matter what you sell. Um, you've either got to sell people a secret or you got to give them something they can use. So your content's got to kind of be something that they can't get elsewhere, where they're coming to find out something that's unique. Okay, so you're going to do your thoughts, and then the content. I think it could work. Now, um, if what you're sharing with them is kind of unique, kind of like a mini sermon, then I'm gonna say you start low and that you have tiers, right? So you tier people and see if they're willing to pay something. So you have a low level, and as you if you see people interested and they want more, then you tier them up. Um, low like I don't know, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. 7 and 9, 7, 9.95, and then tier them up. Tier them up. What would the higher tiers contain? Well, see, uh, you could give. I mean, what Russell was talking about on the insider call. He was talking about exclusive webinars, exclusive training, exclusive discussions, interviews, people you bring in to talk to them, And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of stuff you could, lots of stuff you could add in different tiers. And then the more of your personal time that people get, the more they pay. So you charge them more for more of their personal time that they get. Yeah, and James is saying that the rule is 10 times the value. So um, you sort of you start low and you tier them up. So you put something in there. Yeah, and that's when you start talking about, 47.97, 47.97, and then the more your personal time they get, you start getting up into 197, 297. Huh. Yeah, no, 47 to 97 in the middle tiers. Right? But if you're gonna have a middle tier, you anchor you anchor the middle tier with the higher tier. So in other words, the only way the middle tier is gonna sell is if you have something at a higher tier. Because some people will just because some people will pay to make a problem go away. So in other words, if you're going to sell a 97, then you got to have something up here. So whatever this is up here, what you're really trying to sell is the middle tier. And so some people will pay that higher tier just to make a problem go away. It's always the case. And because there's always going to be some people who say, you don't have time for all that. What's that? Well, I don't want to pay. I want this one up here because that one is probably going to eliminate my problems. Then some people will buy that. Most people won't. What you're really trying to sell is a middle tier. And so, but you anchor it with the higher tier. So you start low, you middle tier is what you really want to sell, and that you higher tier um, up here and whatever you want to charge for that, right? Um, there's no magic to pricing. So, you set your price and somebody's going to call you and ask you about it. You could start there, but then, when you discover if people are buying the 97, they buy it too fast, then your price is too low. So, if people are snapping up the 97, you say, "Oh, then that's when you got to raise your higher tier." And then once you raise your higher tier, you raise your middle tier. Okay, everybody. Well, I've hung out with you. I definitely have hung out with you. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I hope that you have had fun, and I appreciate you all. Um, and hanging out with me here tonight. And as I said, on Wednesday will be Chat GPT Canvas, Chat GPT Search, and Chat GPT Voice. So looking forward to that. And then on Saturday, I got something really cool. Um, I'm going to do the Authorpreneur playbook, and I'll tell you more about that next week. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. So got that coming up for you on next Saturday. All right, everybody. So thanks very much for hanging out with me here. Appreciate you all. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care. Let's see. How do I get out of here? Zoom has kind of changed things. Okay, so show webinar. There you go.